Welcome to this video on graded discussions. In some modules, you may be asked to participate in discussion activities as a form of assessment. Some discussions are there so that students can exchange ideas or apply what they have learned from a certain section of work. Some lecturers will ask students to participate in a discussion as an assignment, and students will then receive a mark for participation in these discussions. These are called graded discussions. A graded discussion is a discussion that takes place between peer students on a topic that has been specifically chosen by the lecturer. With graded discussions, your lecturer will ask a question, pose a problem or scenario, and ask you to respond. Sometimes the task may include a reading, podcast or video that you have to complete before answering the question. It is important that you remember that the idea of a discussion is not to give your opinions on a matter, but to give an informed answer. The answer is informed by your study material for the module, as well as the material specifically assigned for the discussion. It is important that you read the question for discussion very carefully, as well as any requirements that your lecturer may have added. Some requirements that your lecturer may have is how many words your first post should be, and if you have to respond to other students, and what form that response should take. In other words, how many words your response should be. Sometimes you may be asked to illustrate your answers with examples. Make sure to include those examples. Otherwise, you did not fully answer the question posed. It is not good enough to simply state that you agree or disagree with your lecturer. You have to explain why you are taking a certain position. In other words, you need to give answers why you are saying what you are saying, and then use the study material to show how you came to your answer. Even though it is less formal than, say, an essay, you are still expected to include references when you are referring to work and ideas that is not your own. It is important that you also spend some time reading your fellow students' responses and engage with them as well. This engagement should always be polite and based on solid reasons. You can't disagree with someone because you don't like the color that they might have typed their answer in. It is also not good enough to say, I just agree or disagree with student X. Explain why you found their argument convincing or flawed. Discussions are really important for engagement, and research has shown that having discussions with your fellow students leads to a richer student experience. It increases student motivation in engaging and studying for the modules, creates an improved community within modules, which in turn improves learning outcomes. It reduces student burnout as well as student isolation, which means that students stay engaged in their modules and is more likely to complete their modules. Online discussions also allow students to have more and deeper interactions with their peers and their lecturers. Lecturers are also able to see whether you are able to apply your knowledge or solve related problems, and adjust their teaching if they see that a majority of students are struggling in similar ways.